Hey everyone at the OC Kids Book Festival, it's Jeff Kinney, author of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. Now, I can't be with you in person because of COVID and all that, but we're going to do something really special. I'm here today in Plainville, Massachusetts. Yes, that actually is a real place. But I'm in my bookstore, and on the top floor of the bookstore is a studio. It's the Wimpy Kid headquarters, the headquarters of the world, all things Wimpy Kid. So you guys are going to get a tour of my studio. I'm going to talk a little bit about the studio itself, what I'm doing, what I'm drawing, how I draw, and also my new book, which I just literally delivered to the printer just now. It's called The Deep End. It comes out in late October, and so I'm going to talk about that at the very end. I've been up for like 29 hours straight. I'm really tired and punchy. I don't usually look like this, but you know, it's a crazy day. All right, so come on this way. We're gonna go through these double doors. I just have to unlock it with my key fob, and we are in the Wimpy Kid world. It's a very colorful world. You can see that there are these clouds that are lit up. I think they changed colors. Hopefully you'll see them change colors behind me. But this is a really happy place to work. In fact, Vanessa, who is manning the camera, do you say it that way, manning the camera?
I can do. I'm manning the camera.
She's manning the camera. I don't know if that's, we shouldn't say it that way. But she came all the way from London to work for me. And it's cool, actually. This is one of the first times we've been together in this space.
Sure.
So let's look around. All right, first of all, you see these balloon replicas. So in the Macy's Day Parade, which hopefully they'll have this year, I'm praying, the Thanksgiving Day Parade, they have these giant helium balloons that float. And Vanessa, why don't you take a look at this one right here. You can see they're giant, giant, giant. People are tiny down below. In fact, that's a string. It connects all the way to me. But we've had 2 different balloons in the parade over the years. So let's take a look at the other model right here. It's up here, so it's pretty cool. Macy's actually made these for me, which is awesome because I always get to feel that feeling of parade day when I come into work. Now, sometimes I feel a little bit trapped by Greg Heffley, and so we took a picture right here of one of the balloons under the netting, and I've certainly felt trapped all summer by Diary of a Wimpy Kid because I've been working. It's been really hard to write a funny book during a pandemic, so I'm really glad this book is over with and I can spend more time with my family. So before we go into the actual studio, we're going to go this way. You can see it's a little bit messy in here. We haven't really been here in a while. So there's some chairs and tables kind of stacked up. But let's take a look at some of the cool stuff in here. All right, we have over here a giant loaded diaper van flying into the wall. You can see the wings behind it. And up here we have a loaded diaper drum set. Since we're on the 3rd story of the tallest building in Plainville, Massachusetts, we thought it would be fun to make everything airplane themed, sky themed. So the clouds and all these things are sort of up in the air. Way back there, you can see we've got these game show cabinets. We sometimes put on game shows up here, downstairs. And let's look, we have a mess over there, so let's go over here. All right. We actually have, over here you can see it's daytime outside. This is like an airplane fuselage. I got this idea from The Getaway, which was which book number was it? Do you know, Vanessa?
It was book 12.
12, I think, okay, that wasn't Double Down, right? All right. She's my global brand manager, and I just put her on the spot.
So many books.
So it's daytime here, but of course we can change that tonight by switching that over. But this is kind of cool. It looks like an airplane wing, and sometimes we eat here, sometimes we meet here. Now, let's really go into the studio. Now, Vanessa's desk is right behind this cheese wall, and sometimes if I want to see if she's working or if she's on her phone, she spends a lot of time on Facebook, Instagram.
I work very hard, Jeff.
At work. It's terrible. So I have to spy on her by looking through one of the cheese holes. And when she's caught, I have to call her and say, Vanessa, you need to get back to work. But usually she's really good at her job. Okay, so we have some cool things up here. We have like Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. So if you want to see how arrogant I am, I've won actually 6 of these Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, which is pretty cool. And there's 4 more cases over there. So I actually built 8 cases because I thought I might win again. And then guess what? They eliminated the favorite book category. That's right, thumbs down, Vanessa. They eliminated the favorite book category. They never should have done it. And I think they replaced it by like favorite butt kicker or something like that. So I'll never win again, but I have these other cool awards from places like the UK that I got to put into those slots. But this is really a testament to me being a little bit ahead of myself. Let's go this way. Vanessa, as you go by, make sure they see all the different translations of the books. So 65 different languages, I think.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's Diário de Banana, which is Portuguese, which is spoken in Brazil and of course in Portugal. But there, Greg is called the Banana Boy. Okay, there is actually the Latin version. The very first copy of the Latin version was given to the Pope. I actually have a picture of the Pope, Pope Francis, holding Diary of a Wimpy Kid in Latin, which is pretty cool. All right, here we go. We just put this in over here. If you look around the corner,
Look who it is.
are you frightened?
I'm pretty terrified.
This is cool, I think. This is the Grout. If you read my books all the way up to book number
14! 14!
14.
Wrecking Ball!
Wrecking Ball, you will remember the Grout, who was a villain in Greg's mind. He's sort of made up of hair, I think.
I think I got the getaway right, by the way.
Yeah, I think you got that. All right, come on into the studio. This is where we work. And it's a little messy, but that's how a studio should be. It should look like people work in it. You can see the 4 balloons, blimps that I won, which are actually kaleidoscopes, which is pretty cool. And it was really exciting to win those. And I got to walk the orange carpet, and it was cool. All right, everything's colorful in here. The rest of the bookstore is sort of brown. It's all wood. The wood on the floor here is brown, but everything else is pretty bright and colorful. If you look around, you can see these striped lights, right? And they are the first 5 Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, which Vanessa is going to name in order. Go.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules, The Last Straw, The Ugly Truth.
Very good.
Oh my
That's very
goodness.
good.
The pressure.
I don't think she could go much further than that, but she hasn't been working on this for very long. All right, so we have, so it's pretty cool. We got to do this really cool studio, and I sit under this green glowing light at the messiest desk in here. We'll get to that in a minute. Here's Vanessa's desk. These things light up. You want to see it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Get ready. Okay, you gotta take a step back so you can see.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, look at that.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Vanessa is the blue employee. We also have a red employee and a green employee. They don't like to be known by their colors. They like to be known by their names, I've found. Okay, so over here we have all 65 or 68 languages. The newest language is actually, I think it's Somali, right?
Yeah.
Somali, which is really cool. Why would the book, it's not Somalian, right? Okay, it's Somali is the language, I think, I hope. So it's actually published in Sweden, which is really cool. And that's because there has been a big refugee situation in Somalia, and a lot of people had to go to Sweden, and they really want to preserve their language. So their parents are really hoping the kids get to grow up with their language. So they thought, how could they help encourage kids to read in that language? And so they translated my books, which is pretty cool, I think. Actually, we just got an Irish dialect as well. Not Irish, but a different dialect that I'm forgetting.
Gaelic dialect.
Is it the Gaelic? Is that different than, it's different than Irish?
Yes.
Okay, I'm learning something as we're filming. Okay, but we have all the languages. There's only one employee who knows where everything is. That's the green employee. Her name is Anna, but she's on vacation. So if we need to find something right now, we're in trouble.
It's difficult.
All right, okay. Here we have one of 2 existing Greg Heffley statues. I told you I was vain. We created a statue of my cartoon character. It's really cool. All right, so here we go. This is Greg. He's in his mother's bathrobe. This image can be found in which book, Vanessa?
The Last Straw.
The Last Straw. On the back cover and on the interior on page
27.
You could be right. Who knows? If you nailed that, that would be really impressive. Kids, if you have The Last Straw, open it up to page 27. See if Vanessa's right. If not, she loses her job. It's only fair, right? Okay. Here we go. Let's see. We have some original artwork from different creators. This is actually an animation cell from a Peanuts special. Way up there is a Simpsons cell. So that's cell animation. That's hand painted. They don't do it that way anymore, even on The Simpsons. But it's pretty cool that I have one. We have a really nice, we can really hear all the cars rev their engines right at this light. You might hear that one again. All right, flip around without tripping on that broom. That's off the ground. All right. I keep asking people to clean up this place. Nobody ever does it. They got me a broom, and it's a Nimbus. Do you know which one?
No.
It's a Nimbus
2000.
2001.
I was going to say 2010.
The Nimbus 2000 is hanging up downstairs. That is a movie replica. I like the Harry Potter books. I like the Harry Potter movies. So we got some brooms that we hung up in the bookstore. Okay. My messy desk right here. So I'm a Celtics fan, Boston Celtics. Hopefully by the time you watch this, they're still in the playoffs. It's looking a little bit iffy, but hopefully they're still in the playoffs. I'm a Celtics fan. And what else is here? I do most of my drawings on a tablet just like this one. So this time I worked at home, you know, we're in quarantine and all that. So I draw the pictures on this giant digital tablet. And I'm actually going to draw a picture of Greg for you with a real pen and paper at the very end. So Vanessa, spin around again. And here is a cheese wall. Now, usually it has cool stuff, like it's got fish swimming by, or mountains, or it looks like a roller coaster, because these are 2 giant TV screens behind here. We turned it on today and it says no signal, so it's just a sad kind of floating thing. And you know, so we can't show that to you today, but we can set the mood. If it's cold outside, we can put a beach scene up. If it's too hot outside, we can put a snow scene up. So it changes just about every day. All right, over here, there's some kind of movie stuff. That Little Critters Petting Zoo sign is actually from the last live-action Wimpy Kid movie. So is this. It's a corny sign. Some other things, like for example, this is the sweaty bowl from the movie
Dog Days.
Dog Days, correct, yes. So I have that. Roderick actually holds that in the film. This is a corny sign. It's the very first thing you see in which movie, Vanessa?
The Long Haul.
The Long Haul. Wow, you're on top of things today. This is amazing. Okay, sometimes we have a dog in the office. Today we don't. I've gotten to meet lots of people around the world. Here's the time I got to meet the Obamas at the White House. So get a close up. My son was probably about 10 or 11 there. Now he's 6'4". He towers over me. And but that was a cool day. I got to meet them with my parents and my family. All right, over here we have another statue. What kind of person has multiple statues in their room? At least this one is not my character. This is Scrooge McDuck, my favorite cartoon character, created by Carl Barks. This statue was created by a sculptor who also sculpted that Greg statue. So the first person to own this statue was, Vanessa, do you know?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, that's right. So Michael Jackson owned this statue once upon a time, and eventually I got it. So that's cool. We like this because he's holding up a coin. He's telling his nephews the unlikely story of how he got his first coin. What's the name of our bookstore here, Vanessa?
An Unlikely Story.
And what's the quadratic equation? She
doesn't know.
She knows some things. She doesn't know everything. Okay, so here we have, from the lovely island, which we know as
The United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom. Well, do they call England an island, or is it the United Kingdom as an island?
Great Britain.
Great Britain is what's the island?
Well, the island would be, well, the UK includes Northern Ireland, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
We're gonna get in trouble. Let's not go down this rabbit hole. Okay, I've been to the UK. I've been to London many times. That's safe to say, right?
Best city in the world.
Many times, right? And so this is a telephone booth, right? It's
Ooh.
also where I do my writing. So if you look inside
let's
of there,
have a look inside.
there's a comfy chair, and that's where I do a lot of my writing. When I need silence, I come here. All right, what else do we have in here? We're almost at the end of our tour. Let's go back to my desk because I would love to show how I draw.
Great.
Because people like drawing tutorials, so let's try that. All right, I'm hoping this is one of the best drawing demonstrations at the OC Kids Book Festival, but I kind of doubt it because I've seen your lineup and it's really good. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I draw Greg Heffley. And Vanessa, why don't you come on my other side since I'm right-handed? All right, so here I always start with two eyes, right? And then the nose starts right underneath Greg's eye. Now, hardest part for me still is drawing the head because it's almost a perfect circle. All right, not bad. I can live with that. Now, of course, Greg has 3 hairs. What I really like about cartooning is that it's the art of simplicity. You're trying to make a big impact with as few lines as possible. So Greg's head, I think, only has about 9 lines, which include 2 dots. Now, he's sort of shaped concave, I guess you could say. Do you know what the opposite of concave is, Vanessa? Do you remember in your schooling?
Concave and something else.
Yeah, you're so close. You're so close.
That's embarrassing, isn't
All
it?
right, kids, yell it all at the same time. 1, 2, 3. I heard them all say convex.
Convex.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Now Greg only has 4 fingers. Do you know why, Vanessa?
Because that's what most cartoon characters have, right?
Yeah, more or less. It's sort of like in cartoons, it's enough. It's like, because you're trying to really go with the basics. So 1 thumb and a few fingers, that's kind of enough, you know? So he's shaped, he curves in, and then he curves back out. So he's like, if you think of 2 bananas stacked on top of each other, right? In fact, we showed you before that in Portugal, it's called Diário de Banana. So he's known as the banana boy in those places, which is kind of funny. He's known as different things. Mostly he's known as Greg around the world. Some countries don't even have the word wimpy. So in Germany, there's no word for wimp. They told me, hey, we don't have a good word for that. So they actually called it Greg's Tagebuch, which means Greg's journal or Greg's diary. So just a few places, it's not called Diary of a Wimpy Kid. In Italy, it's called, I think it's Diario di un Schiappa, and Schiappa is a word, and so that means wimp, you know, it means somebody who's not very strong. Okay, I would really encourage you guys to, if you ever draw a picture, sign it so that people know it's yours. So that's my signature. And if I was in person with you today, in the actual OC. By the way, I love the show, The OC. It was something that my wife and I really loved. If I ever come there, if I'm ever able to get over there, I will sign things for you in person. The signature will look just like that. Now, I'll be a little bit older, which I know is hard for many of you to imagine, but I will be a little bit older then. So Vanessa, I heard you had 2 or 3 questions that you were just dying to know, so now's your chance.
Okay. What is the quirkiest thing that you do whilst you're writing?
The quirkiest thing I do while I'm writing? I do most of my writing at the cemetery. So I drive my car to the cemetery. It's usually in the colder months, so I bring a blanket with me because I don't keep my car on all day. And a bag of Skittles and a bag of Mega Stuff Oreos, and that's how I write. So that's pretty quirky.
Great. If you were stuck in lockdown in one single room with just one of your characters, who would it be?
I don't think I'd like to be stuck in a room with Greg or Rowley. Roderick would be really annoying. Maybe I'd pick Mrs. Headley. She's got things to say. She's probably pretty interesting.
And which character is most like you, do you think?
Which character is most like me? That's Greg. Greg, he's very flawed. He doesn't always do the right thing. Greg is like an exaggerated version of myself. He's got all of my bad qualities, but then exaggerated, right? Because cartoons are really meant to be exaggerated. So bonus question, Vanessa, do you have anything in your head?
I want to know what you're most looking forward to in 2020 when it's a tricky year. Tell us something fun and exciting.
Okay, you know what we're going to do? We are going to go on a book tour, even though it's a little bit crazy to go on a book tour during a pandemic. We're going to put on our masks, and we're going to get in a van, and we're going to drive around, and we're going to throw pool parties. And that will be really, really cool. We're going to have these kind of drive-through pool parties. Are you game for that, Vanessa?
I am, yes.
I think, Vanessa, you're going to be a lifeguard.
Oh, great.
Can you be trusted with a whistle?
Definitely.
Okay, good. Excellent. Did you have anything else to say?
Thank you. This has been great. I hope I passed the test.
Yes, I think you're okay. You're going to stay employed unless it's not on page 27. Then we're going to have to let you go.
Let us all know, fans.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but I want to say thanks so much to the organizers at the OC Kids Book Festival for inviting me to give you a tour of my studio. And I hope to see you all down the road in better times. Take care.